when you just say the call's
There it
being
is.
recorded,
Oh, there you go. Recording started.
okay, recording started. So that may scare people and make them think, I'm not doing this. I don't know who you are. I don't know you that well. Sorry, I'm hanging up, and they hang up.
Which they can do.
So yeah, but
They
I'm
can
just
do that.
saying for the general acceptance in the United States now is this call is being recorded for quality assurance. No big change, but it happens when you call your bank. It happens when you call your
Oh
insurance
yeah,
company.
everywhere.
It
Yeah.
happens when you call your pharmacy. And you figure, okay, they're just making sure that that their customer service is good, and you're okay with that. It's a little tiny thing, but it's a huge thing because frankly, if somebody calls me or I call somebody and I hear that, I'm hanging up. And the reason is we are bombarded in the United States. I don't know how it is up there, Sarah, but we are being bombarded by robocalls. And they're really intelligent. They're using artificial intelligence. And sometimes you'll actually take the call and I'll say, Michael Doherty, and it'll say, hi, Michael. We were just calling because we heard that, you had stepped on your own foot the other day and you were at doctor's hospital. Well, we have some special, yeah, and it goes into a sales pitch. Well, no, I'm not interested. Oh, boy, before you hang up, but let's just mention that. And so you think you're talking to a human being, and the fact of the matter is it's actually all a machine. Or at some point it hands off to a human being. And you'll actually hear a kind of a blank spot, and you'll start hearing call center noises in the background. And the call center is in the Philippines, and you can tell that they're all talking, with a Philippine accent.
That's for sure.
And so you get really angry with it, and you hang up, and then you try to figure out on your phone how to block that number. Well, blocking that number is not going to help you because they buy huge blocks of numbers for outgoing calls. They're now here's a good example. I had somebody call me from my life insurance company a couple of days ago, and it was a call from Venice, Florida, from where Cara lives.
Wasn't me. It
So
wasn't me.
I thought it was. I thought I don't have any friends living in Venice right now. I mean, I do have friends, but close friends. I didn't recognize the number, so I thought, oh, it must be Cara. Well, I answered it, and it's my insurance company. So I waited, and I said, yeah, okay. And then finally, a girl came on, and I said, let me ask you a question. How did you call me when you're in Arizona? How did you call me on a local number from Venice, Florida? And she said, oh, we just buy banks and numbers all over the country.
Oh, wow.
So the FCC down here is trying to, and they're trying very vigorously, and they say it's going to happen in the next 30 to 60 days, but, we have a Congress and the Senate that can't tie their shoes, so I doubt it. Sometime in the very near future, they're going to outlaw robocalling because it's become so pervasive that I personally don't answer if I don't know the number, I'm not answering the call. I think it can just go to voicemail. And when it doesn't go to voicemail, I know that it was a robocall. The other thing that's going on, just to throw this in, is there is a very interesting glitch in most of the carrier networks where they dial your number and they let it ring one time.
Okay.
And so you look at it and it's like, oh, somebody's calling me, but Verizon must have dropped them. So you dial the number back. And when you dial the number back, it gets all of your ANI information. It gets my name, my telephone address, my telephone number, my home address, my zip code.
Oh, wow.
I don't know how much information it can pull, but it's pulling information out of the Verizon billing system. And they could even get my social security number that way. And so the rule of thumb down here is if your phone rings one time, do not call it back. Block the call right away, even though that's really not going to stop it from happening again. And, and stop it. So the entire concept of it just saying this call is being recorded probably needs to be softened. This call is being recorded for quality assurance is kind of the standard, and people go, okay, and accept it more. So just a thought,
Maybe.
Cara.
Maybe. Okay. All right. Well, that all made sense. So I'm still sharing, right? Yes,
So
yes, yes. Okay.
so
So
now we can connect to Facebook. Can we connect to anything else?
we're not integrated with Facebook yet. That's an integration that's coming down the road. I don't know how close we are on that. So the only direct integration we have right now is in a streaming sense is with YouTube.
I'm sorry, YouTube. Oh, you said
Yeah,
YouTube.
yeah,
Okay, and
yeah.
on
Facebook is
YouTube.
on the way for sure.
But if I wanted to, all right, if I wanted to have my church member group um, come on a call at 8 o'clock on Tuesday night to discuss, something that's happening at the church, I could have up to 100 people. Is that correct?
You can have up to 100 people connect via browser or app. Yes, but you could also have quite a few, right? We usually say 400, but frankly, that's arbitrary. Connect via telephone. So if you dial
Yeah.
into the call and you're just listening.
Right. So Sarah, for your knowledge, this is really important. So the company was built on that particular feature, freeconference.com, which is where Cara and I worked for 3 or so years, was the largest conference calling company in the world. And there would be, at any given moment, especially in the evenings, as the sun went down in each time zone, there would be millions of people on our call bridges, millions. And they would stay on for hours and hours and hours, which the company loved because the US government at that time was paying us money to be able to give free conference capability to people who can't afford it. So these people were actually, it was a little bit shady what they were doing, but it wasn't about them not being able to afford it. It was about them realizing that they had a free broadcast network using telephones. Well, this service is the only service that I know of, that has that capability attached to it. So when we talk to a customer, we say, look, what makes this really compelling is you can do this on your mobile phone. You can do it on your laptop over the internet. You can do it over Wi-Fi. Or, if you're in a place where you just, don't have access to Wi-Fi or don't have access to the internet, you can just dial in on a telephone number and it'll be free from anywhere in the world. That's compelling. That's
Yep.
something that's interesting, and that the competitors did not ever believe that they needed it. And so I don't know of one of them that has it.
That's true.
And
Yep.
you can have thousands of people coming on. We could have a mashup. I don't know what the right teenage word is for this now. It used to be mashup. I thought I was being pretty cool by understanding what a mashup was. It sounded to me like my grandmother would do on the stove with mashed potatoes, and so they're having a mashup, and so it's Taylor Swift, and she's going to do a unscheduled. She blurps out over Instagram and Facebook and whatever else they use that she's doing a concert tonight at 11 o'clock, and just dial this number and you can listen in, or come on to the link and you can watch the concert. That's big time.
Sure.
And no limit to the number of people that can come in and listen to her concert. So that's an entirely, new kind of an entertainment experience that no one's ever had before. But you could either sit here and watch her, or you can sit here and listen to her and watch her on your computer, or you can not use the audio on the computer and dial into the telephone number. And depending on the sync, we talked about sync up earlier. It could be that the telephone is actually more in sync with the video than the VoIP is, because
Yeah,
the
that's
VoIP
true.
is
Yep.
bandwidth, right? So if we're seeing Taylor sing, but her words aren't synced up, you can just hang up and dial into the dial-in number, or just turn your audio off and dial into the dial-in number, and I'm pretty sure it'll be perfect. So
In regards to what you just said, I found it really funny that you mentioned that, because I went to a wedding last year where some of the family members weren't able to attend because it was in Canada. So they actually did, I don't know what they were using, so I didn't pay attention, but they were literally streaming the wedding to the family who was international and unable to be
Oh,
there.
wow. Yeah, that's very cool. Yeah.
Right? So
weddings
I
should be,
Mhm, mhm.
Yeah, I
weddings,
know it's like, it's kind of weird, but at the same time, it's an opportunity because of the fact that, just based on the fact that we're everywhere, it's free. It's, there's no charge with it.
Mhm.
But yeah, no, that's definitely a cool experience just because you
weddings,
are able to
funerals,
kind of be there.
graduations.
Yep. Football games.
So that kind of opens up,
Mhm,
yeah, football games.
mhm, mhm.
That kind of opens up an entire great small business opportunity. So let's say you're a wedding planner, and you can put on your website, as an additional feature, we have the ability to remotely allow guests that can't make the wedding enjoy it at a distance, via our whatever that wedding planner, sync up, and
Hmm.
have a free subscription of, you can use your computer, you can use Wi-Fi, you can use the internet, or you can dial into, or do all of the above and be at the wedding remotely. It's it's an awesome thing. It's 2 3 years ago, my brother-in-law's mom died, and he called me up and he said, "Hey, Mike, is there any you know I've got relatives that are just too old to get to the funeral." I said, "Yeah." He said, "Is there any way we can, use your video stuff?" And I said, "Sure." So let's do a test. Go to the church, take your computer, go up into the choir section above the main floor of the church. Put your laptop down there and point it down towards where the funeral is going to be held. There's a mass, Catholic mass. And so he did, and it worked perfectly. And the
That's awesome.
audio was good. And my sister-in-law walked around the inside of the church and said, "Hi, hello, testing, 1 2," and it all worked. And now that was a market that VIDYO never went after. But for a tool like this for small businesses, we should be calling on every wedding planner, um, every funeral home, and event planners, the people that do whatever they do, the birthdays, whatever it
Hmm.
might be. Those live experiences where the whole family wants to be there but just can't. Um, the mind starts to reel, right? So another thing would be, what's the name of the service where you rent the house instead of a hotel room?
Airbnb.
Yeah, Airbnb.
Yep.
So you could plug it into Airbnb, and if they want to use it, for they can type their credit card number in, and for $10, they're having a party at an Airbnb in Silicon Valley to celebrate their public offering, or they're at a hotel or whatever, and um, people from around the world can come in and join them and party. The other thing that I wanted to mention, and this is a totally separate conversation, guys, but gaming.
Mm,
So
mhm, mhm.
gaming has become the single largest um, interactive event on the internet. So they're now calling it esports, and esports
Hmm.
is, they actually have a television show that's coming on the weekends now that's showing you. I don't know if you know this, but you can be gaming with your friends in the basement, and then one of you gets really good, and so he decides to go on. I'm trying to remember the name of of the website. I will in a sec. Twitch. Twitch is the name of the website. TWICH. And so he'll go on to Twitch and he'll sign up and he'll open an account and he can sit there and game. And we can have a separate discussion about gaming and Twitch. But the point is that people from all around the world can come in and watch him play a game. And the weird thing that's going on is they're watching this kid play a game and he's really good. Okay. Now, these are all violent games, right? It's kill as many people as you can at a time. So I'm really an anti-gamer, but let's just play this out for a second. So he gets to level 6 and people start coming on to watch him to see if he can get to level 7 because they know level 7 is really hard. And he's gaming and people are coming on and they're subscribing to him. Right, so they pay something. They pay like $5 to subscribe to the month to Mike Doherty playing, medieval whatever, and they come on and people. Here's the weird part: people actually buy essentially bitcoins, an artificial. You use your PayPal account. You take PayPal and you put $50 into it, and I can watch you and you can kill 100 bad guys and I can say, wow, that was so cool. I'm giving him $50 and you hit it and $50 pops up on his screen. It goes, bing, $50. And you go, hey, thanks, dude. Really appreciate it. And the $50 goes right into his bank account and he keeps going and people keep throwing money at him. This is true. This actually happens every day.
Wild.
My son would love this.
Some of these kids are making millions of dollars a year. So now esports has gotten so big that they're actually taking entire football stadiums and they have the national, the regional championships, and then they go to a national championship like the Super Bowl. Kids from all over the world come in and they camp out in the stadium. They've got big screens and everybody's sitting watching, and there's like down on the stage, there's like 4 teams of 4 guys, and they're all playing against each other, and you're watching them all on the big screens. And these kids are on their mobile devices giving them money as they play, right? And at the end, they win $1 million.
Wow.
The first place winners get $1 million. A team. And it's like four college kids or 4 high school kids. It's insane. So there has to be a way that, and I'll go back and research this and try to figure out how we can plug into that flow and figure out how we can offer another facility. It's really interesting to me. Facebook will not allow Twitch to play on its network because it's too violent. So Twitch just said, screw it, we'll open up our own network. So they've built their own Facebook, YouTube type facility, and gaming has just become it's a billion dollar business, and it's growing by the day. So anyway, from the wedding planner to esports and everything in between, everything you can think of, caterers, flower where you call to get your flowers for mom. Well, let me show you what I have. And turn around. Let me just show you what we have. Oh, great. All right. We've got some of these and some of those and some of these. I can put them all into one of these. Which one of these pots do you want? Okay, great. All right, have it up. Give me your credit card number. Great. We'll send it to your mother. It'll be there in 2 hours. So you don't have to go on anymore and look at, the pre-canned pictures of the flowers. They can show you what they have. And you can decide. So flower shops. I'm just looking for small business opportunities where we can pick off, 1 or 2 or 3 that are using it. Anybody who's meeting internally who's got, I think real estate agents is a great business model for this. Real estate agents can be talking to the client. They can do a walkthrough and show them the house without the client ever leaving their home.
That's true.
Let me show it to you from the outside. Here, let's go into the kitchen. Here's the kitchen. Does that oven door open? Yeah, let me try that. Oh, yeah, shine my light in there. Look at that. isn't that a beautiful gas oven? All right, let's go to the bedroom. Let's go to the bathroom. Oh, you don't like that bathroom? Oh, we can tear that out. But you can just see how realtors could be using this all the time. Plus their internal meeting. They want to have all their realtors on, and the realtors are all over the place. Any businesses that have distributed employees, this becomes really a valuable tool for these kind of meetings, doing what we do, internal meetings, or this could be a client salesperson, client customer support person. It could be anything. I think it's pretty much limitless. If we could figure out a way to make smell and food come through the computer, we could deliver pizzas, and it'd be awesome. So
Yeah.
anyway,
Okay, so I want to show you guys one more thing, and then I gotta jump off to do other stuff. So this is the reseller provisioning level, and I'm really just showing it to you so you can see how quickly we can get an account going. So and I know, Sarah, we talked a little bit about this, but if you have anybody that needs a demo account, we do it fast. That's when you say, hey, Cara, Michael says, Cara, I got this opportunity and I need them to see what this is all about. All I have to do is go in here and I just add them right in. Now, the reason I'm not going to do this just to show you is because we have a little bit of a, I don't know if this was a system flaw or by design, but once you take up a URL, all right, it's done. You can't reuse it across the Callbridge universe. So, right, and so this is the custom URL for the company. So if you have like Will Smith Painting, and that's the company name, and you type in willsmithpainting.callbridge.com, we can't reuse that. So I'm not going to take one up by doing it, but this is how I enter the name, I enter the URL, and bam, the company's created. Now from there, and definitely Sarah and I talked about this, what I can do and what I will do is go in and customize that account for your customer. So we'll go in, we'll upload a logo, we'll upload an icon, we'll get their colors put in there, and before you even give them a demo account, they've got something that is tailored to them. It's a great way to showcase our customization, which is also available to their customers if they're a partner. You can say to them, listen, your customers, they make it their own, their logo, that kind of thing. So it's just a tool we have in our toolkit where we're extremely responsive. Some companies are not. We definitely are. We can do it in minutes. If you're on site and you want one, there's probably a chance I'm available and I can set up for you quickly. So whatever we need to do, that's one thing that we can do quickly, and it's just great to have as a hands-on.
For sure. I think it really helps the customer be able to kind of visualize it. We can talk as much as we want, but some people are visual learners.
Yeah.
We'll get a better response, I feel, maybe seeing the visual as well. So no, that's awesome. That's so awesome.
Yeah,
and
it is. Yeah.
Turnaround time is great because some places might be like, well, we'll talk to you in 3 days. So no, that's awesome. Yep. That's awesome.
And the other thing about this is it allows you to see who's the customer. So really this is more for Sarah, I think, but Michael, you're talking about verticals. Like these are all, for the most part, these are all customers. Now there's going to be testing things thrown in there. You can see Kitty probably has 100 test accounts, so just ignore everything she's doing. But a lot of these like this. Oh, wow, Cohn and Co. Well, that could be a law firm, right? Or a finance firm. So it's a really good way to mine opportunity, I think. You can check and see, are they on a free trial, and pull up all these different companies and whether they're using it, whether they're not using it. But this is kind of our master admin tool and our look at the top down for Callbridge. And Michael, I should show you that every reseller has their own domain. So it's no longer, I'll give you guys an example. It's no longer callbridge.com. PCCW has their own HTTPS certificate that we've set up, and they host their own conferencing. So you see here,
Nice.
it's the same idea, but it's PCCW, and End-to-End Conferencing is their name. So like Jason was saying, it takes a lot for anybody. They can't really find, like, to customers, PCCW owns and operates this whole system, right? So, yep, that's mostly what I
awesome.
wanted to show you. Yeah, it's a great thing, and I do think from a a collaborative perspective that if you guys should schedule time, I'm happy to jump into, but talk about verticals like law firms for Sarah. Financial firms are great. Multi-level marketing. We have a couple accounts that I brought on years ago, before college was even fully launched. That one is called Longevity, and the other is McAlvany Wealth Management. So all they do is big calls to lots of people. Think of Mary Kay, or I don't even know what would be in Canada, like it's at the top down.
Yeah.
Perfect. That's everywhere. So they just have their product announcement calls or their team meetings or whatever. We give them a branded greeting. So it's welcome to the Longevity, whatever, blah, blah, blah. They like to say a lot of stuff in their greeting in front of it. And now they've got their own branded conference call system that they can just go crazy on. So that's a nice big vertical for us. Financial firms too are huge because they have to do earnings calls, investor relations. Michael knows that was a huge thing. Fourth quarter, IR calls, and especially in January, actually, first quarter, IR calls are huge for us. So, that's something that we can look at. What other? Health, Michael would tell you so much more than I could about healthcare, where we need to become, what's the compliant? We need to be HIPAA compliant, right?
HIPAA compliant, and the guys say that's not a big challenge. It's
We
more
just need to do it. You
filling
need
out
to push
paperwork
them.
and create code.
We're not going to get anywhere
Right.
unless we're HIPAA compliant. So that's something we really need to put out there, because you're going to get asked that up front before you even get a chance to talk to people, I think, right? So we have to do that. We are GDPR compliant.
Canada. Okay. And that's Europe, right?
Yeah, that's Europe. Yep.
So, Sarah, in the United States, you don't have to go to the doctor anymore. If your child is coughing and sneezing and oozing and goozing and wheezing, and you just dial into the doctor's office, or you go onto their webpage, you go to calendar, you pick out the date and time that you want to have an appointment, and on that given date and time, you go back to your iPad and you push on the calendar, invite, and their camera opens up and your camera opens up, and the nurse says, "Oh, hi, I see Mr. Doherty, you've got a little 11-year-old there, Sarah, who's got a runny nose. And how do you feel, Sarah?" "I feel good." And okay, great. Well, Mom, would you take a little flashlight there and just have her open her mouth and take the camera and put it up close to the mouth and just shine the flashlight in her mouth. "Oh, I see little white spots on the back of your throat. You have strep throat. So we're going to get you fixed up. The doctor will be in just a minute." At the same time, there's a tool that's being sold now in CVS and all the other big pharmacy chains, Walmart, that sort of thing. I've got the company's name. It's TioCare is the name of the company. And it's basically a capsule, and it's a great product to buy for wedding showers. For baby showers. So somebody will go down the store. It's $39, but you open the capsule up, and it's got the little clip for the finger, and it's got a Wi-Fi connector in it.
And that's
takes
crazy.
The skin moisture. It takes the pulse. It takes the temperature. It's got a little light for the throat. It's got a little stick so you can make them, open the mouth real wide. It's got a little attachment with a camera on it that you can put in their ear, and all the vital data is automatically passed over to the doctor's office.
That is so cool.
Yeah. So now when the nurse comes on to triage you, she says, "Oh, I see Sarah's temperature is up to 102, and her pulse is good. Her skin's a little clammy. She's got those white dots on the back of her throat. I think I know what's wrong, but let's have the doctor come in. Now, a minute later, 2 minutes later, you're going to have to listen to pharmaceutical commercials, or you'll see them on your video. They'll start playing that one that they play at dinner time all the time. If you have it, beware of it. And it makes you think, God, if I take that drug, I'm going to drop dead. And all of a sudden, the doctor pops up and he says, "Hi guys, I see Sarah's got some here, don't you? Are you feeling bad, Sarah? Okay, well, I'm going to ice cream. What's your favorite ice cream? And Mom, where do you want us to call on this? Acme Markets, great. Or so, go pick it up. If she's not feeling better in a few days, he hangs up. He's able to bill the insurance office visit.
Wow.
Although States, it's just
Yeah.
doctors that are all single. And not be told by them.
We just have to tell him that. So if you find, so what I find with direct customers, Zoom doesn't ask for agreement. GoToMeeting, you can sign up online, you can prepay for a year, but that's about as tied in as it gets. But if you find that it would be helpful to you, Graham will write you an agreement. Just tell him what they are and what you need. Graham's our CFO, and he'll get that to you if you need it.
So what's our cost? What does this cost? So sell me now. Okay, I've got Michael Doherty and Associates Consulting, and I want to use this. I love your service. You talked me into it. Two brilliant women overpowered me, and I'm thrilled.
That's going to be a factor of several. That's the first, because ideally this is, and every subscription is going to contain and teleconferencing, right? No subscription is the first question.
Now, is users based on the number of calls?
By department, do you need sales, finance, and marketing? All the how it's the same idea. How many? It's single. That's generally single user. Users you have, and then what? And that's our